Joining us today for a special conversation is Miss Deepa Malik. She's of course Padma Shri awardee. She's also got Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award for para athletics, plus a lot of awards. And she was the first of many with respect to the Paralympic sports that she participated in, whether it was motorcycling, it was discus throw, javelin throw, swimming, and a lot more. And more importantly, she's been an inspiration for a whole host of people through her journey. In fact, ma'am, that's my first question to you. At the time in your late 20s when you got this major setback, how difficult was it for you to get the inspiration to restart your life again and turn this adversity into a triumph?
I think the first and foremost inspiration was that I was grateful to Almighty to be alive, because the kind of surgery and the illness that I had gone through, which was repetitive tumors, major surgeries, a repeat of paralysis which happened as a child, and I was paralyzed for 4 years in my childhood from age of 5 to age of 9, and to know what is the seriousness of this disease. And the way I had learnt about it, I could have died on the operation table. I could have also lost my husband in the Kargil war. So overall, that year of 1999 and that month of June 1999, we were just blessed to be alive. So that was one feeling. The second one was when I was trying to learn my body all over again, because this new body was chest below paralyzed with no bladder and bowel control. There was a lot of issues about sensation, blood circulation, breathing, because half the lungs were also impacted. There was no temperature control in the body. So a lot of learning had to be done. I felt everybody would be celebrating my bravery for the way I fought through the illness alone, practically alone, because husband was in the Kargil region, children were with my parents, and hospital stay was rather extended to 8 months. Um, but what I felt was people had a very stereotypical outlook towards a woman in disability, especially a severe one, where mobility is challenged, where people feel the taboo because you are on a wheelchair. And since 25 years ago, accessibility was not even spoken of. People had no awareness towards creating an infrastructure which could be for universal accessibility. Everybody felt my life is going to end in a room. Now, these challenges were coming to a woman who was educated, who was brought up in an urban setup, who was surrounded by people who were adequately educated and financially empowered. And yet, the doubts around my being alive, and almost a conversation saying that she was better off dead than living in a dead body. So that perception needed to change. And that was going to infect my children as they grow up. If that is what influenced them. And somewhere it hit me very hard when my husband gave up his army job, because he got bitten by the stereotype that now that your wife is paralyzed, you won't be able to successfully deliver your duties as an army officer because yours is a transferable job. I didn't like the dead end in my life, and I had to create those opportunities not only for myself but carve a path of abilities beyond disabilities. I just felt that it was almost like a duty, because even my elder daughter had suffered disability due to a head injury, which left the left of her body paralyzed in hemiplegia. I wanted to be that role model and bring up a daughter in disability, uh, so that she's empowered enough when she grows up into a very productive citizen of my country.
Well, very inspiring indeed. But how difficult was your journey as a Paralympic sports person? Because at that time, para sports weren't popular at all. Forget the fact that it was women there who was going to participate there. Were there times when you really wanted to just give up?
I think I've been brought up in an army setup where everybody believes in a plan B and quickly moving to solution mode, and that has been my journey. I have seen my parents face adversities, financial challenges, and the tough time that they have gone through for 4 years during my illness. Subconsciously, I was tuned to not give up. However, I am a human being. There were moments of disappointment, hurt, being ignored. People didn't have faith in a woman when she went out to say that, hey, let me do some crazy things like riding a bike again. I want to reclaim my life by being a biker again, by trying to drive cars, create some world records, the Limca world records that I created. I want to do everything possible from this body to send out a shock treatment into the society, and it wasn't easy because being a first woman biker, swimmer, car rallyist, Limca record holder in adventure category, to go out and play at the age of 40, to try and swim across a river, but and they really did not want to, basically everybody wanted to live on a zero error basis, that what if we sponsor you, or what if we allow you to do this and something happens to you. And then I had to exercise my right of choice as a free citizens of a free country. And I think consistency paid off. It had a lot of learning. There were times when it was frustrating, but hundreds of emails, thousands of knocking at the doors, purpose drove me. It was important for me to do that, not only to create an identity for myself, but also become that beacon of hope for my child and for other women to follow suit. Para sports, people thought was about jumping from parachutes. That's what a media person asked me when I said I want to be in para sports. So that was the level of ignorance. But I'm happy today we have a government, we have a prime minister who celebrates para sports. The policies one was able to contribute to for them to now become inclusive, totally at par with any other Olympic sport in the country. Grassroots level definitely needs more work. We need to have more inclusive infrastructure, but at least at the elite level now, we are nurturing our Paralympic prospects and medal probables in a very amazing way.
And yes, ma'am, speaking of it, we are right at the corner of the Paralympics and Olympics happening this year. Tell me what your expectations are from the Indian contingent.
I'm definitely very hopeful from the Paralympic contingent raising their own bar the way they have been doing it. It's been a steady progress. The graph is only going up. If I compare it to London 2012, where only one medal was won, and then coming to Rio, where four were won, four medals from 19 para athletes, and when we talk about Tokyo 2020, 19 medals from 54 athletes. So, where only 19 were participating just in 4 years, despite COVID and pandemic and all that pause that the whole world went through, we were still able to make 19 medals. And what makes me happy is now the medals are being contributed by women para athletes as well. As late as the recent para athletics championship, the world championship that happened in Japan, we had 17 medals, out of which six were won by women, and they were golds. And new events like para canoeing, para cycling, blind judo. We are going to be participating in the highest number of sports, which is 12, Last time it was 9. Prior to that, it was 5. This year, the contingent looks at somewhere close to 75 to 80 because qualifications are still going on. So I'm very hopeful that it'll at least be above 75. The medal tally from 19 should go up to something between 25 to 30 this year. It is looking like a much better Paralympics than before.
Well, yes, fingers crossed on that one. But as is the case in sports, even markets and business gives you those ups and downs. And you've in your own journey as a sports person as well as a restaurateur, tell us what would be your message to young budding entrepreneurs and investors.
I think they should just get involved in something that they love, because that if you love something and you choose a line of activity which you're passionate about, there will never be a lack of motivation. Even disappointments will be handled well because there'll be enough love for what you do for you to get up and go back to it again. And uh, the graph is never going to be a single line, because a single line actually means the things are dead around you. So be prepared for the ups and downs. And instead of harping about the problems, continuously upskill and upgrade your knowledge so that you can focus more on the solutions. So that is something which I always tell everyone, because excellence is not an act, it's a habit, and you have to develop that habit of consistency, being persistent, and I think continuous learning helps.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am, indeed, for making time and speaking with us. Really appreciate you joining us.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.